In the headlines of this hour on VTV News, Vietnam promotes efficiency of Ho Chi Minh City-Cần Thơ Expressway. And Hội An among world's top 7 trendiest destinations. And in our world news, Iran terror attack, 103 killed, 188 wounded in 2 explosions.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello, it is 3 p.m. local time and you're watching VTV News. I'm Huyền Trân with the top stories. The Mỹ Thuận-Cần Thơ Expressway section, since its implementation, has successfully reduced traffic congestion along the entire expressway route from Ho Chi Minh City to the western capital. This improvement has created favorable conditions for economic development in both Ho Chi Minh City and the Mekong Delta region. The Ho Chi Minh City-Cần Thơ Expressway is one of the busiest highways, and with the travel time between the two cities being cut in half, trading activities can be expedited. Businesses can meet order deadlines while also saving significant costs. Moreover, agricultural products from the Mekong Delta now have a better competitive edge in terms of both price and quality. The enhanced transportation infrastructure has also attracted both domestic and foreign investors, leading to the development of new industrial parks. This in turn will contribute to sustainable economic growth in the surrounding areas. In 2023, despite the exemption, reductions, and extensions of taxes and fees up to nearly $8.2 billion, state budget revenue has exceeded the estimate by more than 5%. This is also the third consecutive year that budget revenue has exceeded estimates, making an important contribution to the country's economic growth.
In 2023, the geopolitical complexities are forecast to persist, significantly influencing the country's economic recovery and growth. Despite these challenges, the financial sector has executed assigned tasks. As a result, the state budget revenue for 2023 reached more than $70 billion, surpassing projections by approximately 5%. Notably, domestic revenue managed by the tax industry reached over $60 billion, exceeding 8.27% of the estimate.
All support packages issued by the National Assembly and government were deployed by tax authorities to all businesses and taxpayers, thereby helping businesses access a source of capital for recovery.
State budget revenue achieved positive results, helping to ensure major balances of the economy. Vietnam recorded a budget deficit of below 4% of GDP, much lower than the 4.42% allowed by the National Assembly.
For 3 consecutive years, state budget revenue exceeded assigned budget expenditures. In those 3 years, 700 kilometers of highways were built, proving the effective of public investment. This is a victory for fiscal policy.
Public investment disbursement in 2023 is a bright spot. Public investment in 2023 reached about $29 billion, nearly double that of previous years. I believe that up to now 90 to 95% of that investment have been disbursed.
Due to flexible management, the current public debt is only 37% of the total level assigned by the National Assembly. Thanks to that, the state budget will be invested more in infrastructure systems, facilitating socio-economic growth.
In the first 3 days of 2024, the total export turnover through the Lao Cai border gate reached over $2.8 million, according to the province's Customs Department. Durian, in particular, noteworthy, is with approximately 250 tons of this fruit being exported, resulting in a turnover of nearly $1 million. Additionally, other agricultural products such as bananas, sweet potatoes, dragon fruit, dried cassava, charcoal, and peelwood are also being traded. Imported goods include fresh vegetables, tangerines, grapes, pomegranates, confectionery, bicycles, fertilizers, mixing ingredients, and ornamental plants. Businesses are operating more stably and have a greater awareness of their legal responsibilities. This has helped accelerate custom clearance activities, making them more convenient than before. The Vietnam SPS Office has recently clarified that China's General Department of Customs does not require a registration certificate from Vietnamese export enterprises, nor do they collect fees through their websites. This announcement comes after some Vietnamese agricultural export enterprises receive requests from Chinese customers for a registration certificate from the General Department of Customs of China and proof of fee payment through the two attached website links. It has been discovered that the two mentioned websites have inauthentic characteristics and may aim to defraud businesses by using English abbreviations of agencies under the Chinese General Department of Customs in their website addresses. The messages from these websites require enterprises to pay a fee of around $100 to $1,000 to register for an export code certificate when exporting to the Chinese market. To stay safe, the SPS office recommends that businesses access official Chinese websites with the .cn extension to receive official information regarding trade activities. On Wednesday, the first container of macadamia nuts from Lum Qu Province was officially exported to South Korea. This marks the province's first export shipment of agricultural products this year. The batch of macadamia nuts weighs over 10 tons and has undergone various examinations to ensure pest control, food safety and hygiene, packaging specifications, and traceability. The official export to South Korea will create opportunities for Vietnamese macadamia to be exported to other Asian countries and beyond. Currently, Lum Qu has over 4,500 hectares of macadamia trees, yielding more than 1,500 tons per year. Controlling the quality of agricultural products and reducing labor and production costs are evident outcomes when smart technology is applied in agriculture. In Lum Qu Province, agriculture has been invested in the right direction for many years and has become the economic pillar of the province. It is not only large businesses, but also many farmers who can now adopt smart agriculture in suitable ways.
This is an agricultural greenhouse located in Da Loan Commune, Duc Trọng District, Lum Qu Province. Here, all stages of farming are pre-programmed to ensure optimal conditions for tomato plants. One notable feature is the use of an irrigation system that delivers water and fertilizers directly to the roots of each plant. Thanks to this new system, the cost of cultivating tomatoes on 1,000 square meters of land has decreased by fivefold, now costing only $41.
Our work is much easier. We don't have to worry about watering our plants.
By applying hydroponic technology in a more suitable way for farmers in Lâm Đồng, Nguyễn Đức Huy has been able to reduce labor, save energy, and enhance productivity and the quality of agricultural products.
This hydroponic technology is easy to use and divided into small parts for easier control.
Currently, there are 65,000 hectares in Lâm Đồng Province that apply high technology in agricultural cultivation. This represents more than 20% of the total cultivated area.
The department is organizing training sessions for farmers to gradually transition to smart agriculture.
Agriculture has always been the economic pillar of Lâm Đồng Province. By making the right investments in technology, the province has the potential to become a national and international center for high-tech agricultural research and production.
To achieve the objectives stated in the recently signed strategy for plant cultivation until 2030, with a vision to 2050, the area of rice farms will be stabilized at 3.56 million hectares. This will ensure national food security while meeting consumptions, processing, storage, and export needs. Investment will be allocated to rice production in centralized planning areas, aiming to synchronize transportation, irrigation, and logistic infrastructure in these areas. The farming industry as a whole aims to achieve an average product value of $6,200 to $6,600 by 2030, with export turnover exceeding $26 billion. Furthermore, the industry will embrace high technology, organic agriculture, and adhere to food safety and environmental friendliness standards in cultivation practice. It has been over 6 years, and Vietnam has yet to lift the European Commission's or EC's yellow card warning for exploited seafood. During the fourth inspection on combating illegal, unreported, and unregulated or IUU fishing last October, the EC acknowledged and appreciated Vietnam's efforts, particularly the political determination, attention, and guidance from the government and the Prime Minister. However, despite these efforts, not many favorable results have been achieved. While there has been a decrease in the number of fishing violations in foreign waters compared to 2022, these instances still persist. Many ships have been fined over $41,000 each, but the rate of ships being addressed remain low. According to the EC, this is one of Vietnam's major limitations. The EC will only consider removing the yellow card for Vietnam when this rate reaches 100%. Now let's take a look at the foreign exchange rate of today, January 4th. Coming up next on VTV News. Former inmates receive support to start new lives under humane policy. And Hội An among world's top 7 trendiest destinations. Welcome back to VTV News. After 3 months of implementing the Prime Minister's Decision number 22 on a humane policy for individuals who have completed their prison sentence, over 2,000 people have received support in the form of loans, totaling $6.4 million to start new jobs and businesses. The following story was recorded in multiple localities in the Mekong Delta.
After returning to his family, this man considers his 30 durian trees to be his biggest asset. However, lacking funds makes it challenging for him to develop his business. With the advice of locals, he was able to borrow $4,100 to restore the garden.
I received timely support, allowing the flowers to bloom. That's why I now have so many durians.
With the dispersed capital, Tan is determined to start a business in order to support his family and gradually regain the love and support of the community.
I'm trying to become a better person and integrate into the community. As a result, the neighbors surrounding me support and love me dearly.
Our community has guided you to become a better person. Now, it is important for you to become a helpful individual for your family and society.
The Vietnam Bank for Social Policies made efforts to enhance the implementation of the policy. Once Decision number 22 came into effect, many cases received timely disbursements.
The local police will serve as the focal point to quickly introduce people to banks for loans.
We will continue to inform people about this policy in order to assist them in promoting their businesses and stabilizing their lives.
The Prime Minister's Decision number 22 aims to support former prisoners in leaving their past behind and facilitating their integration into society.
Kon Tum is home to Roma, one out of the 54 ethnic groups in Vietnam. Over the years, the party committee, government, and political system in the province have implemented numerous policies and solutions to support and develop the well-being of Roma people. Following the national program aimed to improve the lives and livelihoods of ethnic groups approved by Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh, bright prospects have given hope to Roma ethnic people for a better new year.
The Romam ethnic minority group has 177 households with 617 people, accounting for 70.4% of the population of Le Village, Quang Tum Province. In the past, life for locals was challenging. However, with an investment of nearly $3.7 billion from the state, the essential infrastructure in the border village has been greatly expanded. Romam children now have the opportunity to attend school.
Before, villagers didn't know how to read and write. They can do it now thanks to the state's policy. This has resulted in improved education opportunities and increased earning potential for the local population.
Initiatives aimed at supporting production development have enabled the Romam people to reshape their agricultural and livestock practices. Presently, the average income per person in Le Village has reached nearly 20 million VND per year. Additionally, authorities actively assist the community in preserving their cultural heritage and reviving traditional festivals of the Romam people.
The infrastructure in our village has been invested in to create a spacious and clean living environment.
The province has been making serious commitments toward cultural preservation, including initiatives like teaching the younger generation to play the gongs and organizing traditional festivals of ethnic groups.
In the ongoing effort to stabilize and enhance the well-being of the Romam ethnic, Quang Tum Province will prioritize the resources from 3 national target programs. The focus will be on supporting the adoption of high-tech production, elevating the value of agricultural products, aiming to raise the income of the Romam people to 30 million VND per person per year by 2025.
After almost 2 years of restoration, the national-level relic of the Nguyen Dynasty's defense citadel, Hai Vân Quan, is nearing completion. The restoration of this relic is expected to transform it into a prominent historical site for both locals and tourists.
Located 490 meters above sea level, Hai Vân Gate, also known as Hai Vân Quan, was constructed in 1826 during the reign of Emperor Ming-mat. This site served as a significant gateway along the north-south natural routes and plays a crucial role in military defense, controlling the passage of ships entering and leaving Da Nang Bay. The gate served as a vital stronghold of the Thuận Quảng region, which includes present-day Quảng Trị and Quảng Nam, during resisting wars against foreign invaders. The project to preserve, restore, and promote the value of the relic has great historical significance and has received significant attention from local authorities.
We are actively developing projects to promote the cultural values of the gate. Additionally, 2 provinces are replanning tourism services to ensure a courteous atmosphere and well-organized activities for both international and local visitors.
Hai Vân Quan, with its unique cultural value, was recognized as a national relic by the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism in 2017. As such, both Da Nang City and Thừa Thiên Huế Province are devoting significant efforts to preserve, restore, and promote this heritage.
The 2 localities have formed a management team to directly oversee the relic. In the first phase, admission will be free for visitors. Subsequently, we will gradually enhance the management process.
The investor expects to complete the project and start welcoming visitors in the first quarter of 2024. In accordance with regulations on decentralization of monument management, Phú Lộc District in Thừa Thiên Huế Province and Liên Chiểu District in Da Nang City will establish a management board for the relic. This collaboration is significant as it brings together 2 localities to manage a national heritage site that has been abandoned for centuries.
Hội An has been voted one of the top 7 trendiest destinations by the American travel site Travel Off Path. This site recognizes Hội An as one of the best cities in Vietnam, renowned for its well-preserved old town and its unique blend of cultures, ranging from Chinese to French. Other popular destinations that made it into this list include Cuba, Mauritius, Siem Reap of Cambodia, Chiang Mai of Thailand, Grand Cayman of Cayman Islands, and Fez of Morocco. With the Lunar New Year just around the corner, many families have made plans to travel during this 7-day holiday. According to data from the General Statistics Office, travel revenue last year reached nearly $1.6 billion, marking a 53% increase compared to the previous year. As a result, travel agencies are anticipating a prosperous season leading up to the Tet holiday.
This Lunar New Year, Zen has decided to purchase package tours for his family to travel to the Central Highlands. Choosing package tours during this time not only saves him time but also reduces costs by up to 25%.
The travel companies usually book tickets in advance for their regular tours, so their tickets will be cheaper than when we book them ourselves during the peak season of Tet holiday.
This travel company has experienced a 30% increase in the number of visitors compared to the same period last year. The majority of tourists choose to book hotel rooms and direct flight air tickets together as a combo.
We offer domestic tours at a reasonable cost of $25 to northern regions and road tours in Vietnam for around $80 and air tours to warm areas like Quy Nhơn, Nha Trang and Phu Quoc for around $410.
We have stopped receiving bookings for tours to distant destinations like Japan due to the visa process. Bookings for other closer countries like South Korea or domestic tours have accounted for 80% of our reserves.
In addition to travel agencies, many localities are also planning to organize unique cultural, culinary, and tourist events to meet the needs of both locals and tourists in celebrating the Lunar New Year 2024.
Located downstream of the Thubon River, Ban Thạch village has been producing mats for over 500 years. Despite facing various challenges, the villagers have preserved the traditional method of weaving sedge mats, which gives Ban Thạch mats their distinctiveness.
In the past, in Ban Thạch village, each house had at least 2 mat weaving looms. Huỳnh Thị Ca, now nearly 90 years old, is the oldest mat weaver in the village. Despite the challenging nature of this job and the low income it brings, she continues to pass on these traditions to her descendants.
This job is hard work. You have to chop the sedge, dry it, then dye and dry it again.
In the past, mats were transported to southern Vietnam for consumption and were even exported in large quantities to Eastern Europe. During the peak season, villagers would weave over 400,000 pairs of mats. Nowadays, many visitors still purchase mats as a souvenir to remember the past.
The smell of the mat evokes a range of emotions and brings to mind the image of villagers weaving mats in their houses.
Many engineers, contractors, and company directors have a background in weaving mats, thanks to their parents' tradition.
Currently, this craft village still has approximately 150 households engaged in manual mat weaving. The daily income of mat weavers is only around $4. Therefore, the cultural sector of Quảng Nam Province and the local government are collaborating to develop a plan to preserve the craft village.
Coming up next in our world news. Iran terror attack, 103 killed, 188 wounded in 2 explosions. And Japan struggles with obstacles in quake rescue operations. Moving on to our world news. At least 103 people were killed and 188 injured in a terrorist attack in the Iranian city of Kerman on Wednesday. 2 bombs exploded 20 minutes apart during a commemoration for the prominent Iranian general Qasem Soleimani, who died in 2020. The attack took place while many Iranians were gathered to honor the general. According to Iranian authorities, 2 explosive devices were placed along the road leading to the cemetery and were detonated remotely. As of now, no group has claimed responsibility for the blast. Iran has labeled it a terror attack and is conducting an investigation. The UN Secretary General and leaders from various countries around the world have condemned this attack. 4 days after the 7.6 magnitude earthquake in Japan, the number of casualties continues to rise. Rescue workers are racing against time to save people trapped under the debris. Additionally, those in the affected areas are still grappling with challenges such as power and water outages, as well as inadequate living conditions.
Ishikawa and its Noto Peninsula have been severely affected by earthquakes. In Suzu town, it is estimated that 90% of houses may have been destroyed. The number of damaged and burned houses is expected to rise. Approximately 32,000 people in Ishikawa Prefecture are being evacuated to shelters, where they will receive assistance from local authorities.
My house didn't collapse, but everything was broken, such as the kitchen utensils and the TV. Everything, like electricity, water, and gas, is gone. Our house could collapse at any time if aftershocks continue.
The death toll from the earthquake has now reached at least 73. According to the Natural Disaster Response Committee of Ishikawa Prefecture, rescue operations are encountering numerous challenges. In Wajima City, the current supply of 3,000 meals and 5,000 bottles of water is insufficient for the 11,000 evacuees.
I didn't have any food or drinks. Luckily, I bought a bottle of water from the convenience store. My family, including my wife and daughter, are having to drink sip by sip to make it last.
The Japanese government has doubled rescue workers to foster rescue operations.
Regarding the jet crash in Japan, newly released transcript of communications prior to the crash suggests that the Coast Guard plane did not have permission to be on the runway. Officials cleared the passenger jet to land and instructed the Coast Guard plane to hold on the runway prior to the planes colliding. On Tuesday, a Coast Guard plane collided with a larger Japan Airlines passenger jet. Pilots on a Japan Airlines plane that became engulfed in flames just after all 379 passengers and crew escaped. All but one of the 6 people on the smaller aircraft were killed. Now, before we say goodbye, let's take a look at the weather forecast. And that is it for this news bulletin. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app at VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel, VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.